Alright, what's good? Welcome to part 5 of the 120 gallon plywood aquarium build. We left off with the trim. I'm liking the trim, and I just keep thinking about how I'm going to do the top and the stand and what I really want to do as far as routing goes and making it look real nice. But for part 5, it's all about the epoxy and getting that first coat on. Now, when it comes to getting the first coat on, we're just going to get that epoxy on this wood, let the wood soak up the epoxy, and let it sit for a day. After that, we'll sand it down, and my technique that I used, this is what I learned for myself. A lot of people don't do this way, but the way I do it is, after that first coat and I sand, I concentrate on one section. So I'll concentrate on the bottom first, and I will epoxy the bottom only. The epoxy's self-leveling, so it'll level out and it'll be smooth. If you ever look at anybody else doing their aquariums, they'll sit there and say, oh, well, I put 8 coats of black on this. You know what I mean? 8 coats is a lot of coats. And the reason why they put so many coats on is because they're, epoxying up instead of down. Reason for this is the epoxy will leave drip marks, and then you have to sand them. And then you have to epoxy again and sand it, and you want to get a smooth look. And by the 5th time, you're like, man, this doesn't look right. I'm going to put another coat on. You can't overdo it, and some of the aquariums are too big to do it certain ways. Understandable, but the way I do it is I'll concentrate on the bottom, and that's what I'll do. And then I'll flip it onto the side. I mean, these small sections are nothing anyway, and there's going to be acrylic that's going to smack right on it, so no biggie. But when it comes to the back section, I'm going to flip it down and then epoxy. I feel like you don't use as much epoxy and you get better results doing it that way as well. So that's the way I'm gonna do it. That's just my style, and I'm sticking to it. So many different ways that you can epoxy, but this is the way that I do it. I mean, it has worked pretty good for me, and this epoxy is expensive, man. You know, bigger tanks, bigger plywood aquariums that you try to build, you're spending a lot of money on material. And when it comes down to it, you want to try to use as much common sense as you possibly can, and want to do the job the best way and the most correct way that you can do it. So that's the way we're going to do it, and I hope you enjoy it, man. Let's go. Alright, real quick before we get started, we sanded it, we cleaned it down. The alcohol is very important, gloves are even more important, and this is something that I wanted to show. Very cool, check this out. So I am still undecided of what color I want to put in here for the epoxy. So I started working with pigments and chameleon colors. So there's so many different colors. So if we paint it, say, blue, there's so many colors that can go with it. Or black, there's so much that can go with it. I mean, sky's the limit with these colors. Just amazing. Some being, greens and turquoise, lavenders, stuff like that. Let's see, you know, burgundy. I think burgundy is a beauty to go with this, you know. And also, when we put the first coat of epoxy on, I try to make it different colors. So after the first coat, we're gonna do a blue, and then the second coat we'll probably do a black. So we make sure that we hit every single part of the aquarium and we don't miss anything. All right, so I wanted to see how much 1 cup of epoxy, how much that would do. And we got all the seams covered and we got the whole bottom covered. I wasn't really worried about getting the back here done. All I wanted to do was get up these seams. So this way this can dry overnight, and then tomorrow we can sand it up. And we'll throw some fiberglass cloth in here, in the seams, and we'll put a couple coats on. So it is no biggie. And yeah. So now that I know that 1 coat pretty much does 1 section, it does make it easier. So yeah, let's let this dry and we'll be back here tomorrow. We're getting there. Alright, so we're here the next day. Everything is dried up. Here's the thing, fiberglass. We're pretty much going to fiberglass the bottom going around. As for the corners, all of the corners, we are not fiberglassing because we're putting the acrylic in and we're going to be siliconing all the way up the corners anyway. So fiberglassing, there's really no point. So we will fiberglass the bottom, and you can see here too, we'll be siliconing the whole bottom. So as long as the cuts of silicone are on point, we should have no problems at all, but I will be fiberglassing this bottom piece. So let's sand it and get the fiberglassing. Alright, so 80 grit works just fine. A lot of people say 60, but ain't really a big difference between 60 and 80. So that's all. I'm gonna throw this on and bust this out. So I always get my hands on the smaller sanders. This is just to get in areas that you don't feel comfortable using the other sanders. So the main thing is just scratching up the surface so the next coat of epoxy can stick. So it's just, so you're back to taking the alcohol and cleaning everything up again. It's a rinse and repeat. You constantly do this after every time you sand the epoxy. You gotta clean everything real good, because when you put that next coat of epoxy on, you do not want any dust or any of that. That's another thing too. You want to stay in a dust-free environment, or you know, the least amount of dust you can. I mean, if you're in your garage, dust is in there. So just try to be as careful as you can. But this process is done quite a bit when you're building. I am only here to show you how I do it. I love building aquariums. I enjoy this. My favorite part about it is looking at the finished product and being like, wow, I really did that. Like, I really built that. That's crazy. To learn that, you take the steps, man, you can do anything. You know, growing up, I didn't think I could do some things that I do now. Like engraved in my head that I couldn't do it, so I never tried. And now I'm trying. Maybe a little late, but better late than never, you know? Alright, we got the fiberglass cloth on the bottom, which is going to be the only place that we put this fiberglass cloth. We are going to have the 3 acrylic panels, so not really worried about it. And if you look at these seams, you have the epoxy in the seam, you're going to have the silicone in the seam. Like I said, I could probably get away with not doing this, but doing this on the bottom, it is the smart move. And I mean, I'm not an idiot, so we're gonna just go with this. So let's mix up some black epoxy and get started. Alright, so we got the fiberglass done all four sides. So very happy about that. It gets messy when you do it. Fiberglass cloth gets everywhere, and you're dealing with epoxy, it's sticky and all that. So I'll let this kind of dry, and I'm gonna do what I had mentioned and flip it on the back side to epoxy this back, and then obviously on all of the sides. Now the background is actually going to take a little longer because I want to get something that looks beautiful back there. And one main thing that I do is when I get the pond shield, I also get clear. I make sure I have 1 or 2 cases of clear for my micas, my chameleon pigments, because the pond shield comes with a variety of colors, but you know, I like to up the bar a little bit and create my own background and my own beautiful color that goes with the aquarium. So we're gonna let this dry and we're gonna go on from there, man. So before I decide to turn the fish tank, being that the bottom is black, because I am gonna put black on the back, but I'm gonna mix it with a certain color, and I think that this burgundy is gonna look crazy with the Bombay mahogany with that burgundy look. I mean, there are so many sick colors, man. Like, you got a pearl white. I mean, you got the turquoise here. What else we got? There's so much going on. That blue, that iris blue. There's like so many different colors we can use. I mean, some of these colors are outstanding. Like right here, oh my god, that green, that's just unreal. I'll use that, but as far as this goes, I think we're gonna hit it with the burgundy and see how it looks. And if it looks good and that's how we want to go, we're gonna paint or epoxy everything black, and then we're gonna shoot it with the burgundy. So let's see how it looks. I don't know about you, but this really looks outstanding with the Bombay mahogany mixed with that maroon with the black underneath it. Oh, it gives it that contrast. Boy, oh boy, did we just stumble upon something. And this is gonna wrap it up for episode 5, because it doesn't get better than this. In episode 6, we are gonna finish this tank with the black and the burgundy on top. Oh my god. You know.